happy Thanksgiving week. I'm so excited to be talking to you today about why I'm so thankful for yoga. And just a little bit about my story. I found yoga when I was in college. And if you went to college, you know it is a fun time, but also a very stressful time in life. You're making decisions that are going to shape the rest of your life and what career path you're going to take. And so it feels a little overwhelming, and I'm so grateful that someone introduced me to yoga. And I remember that first class so well. I went in and didn't know a soul in there, didn't even have a yoga mat at that point. I just went in and I borrowed one from the on-campus studio that was there, and I had no idea what that first class was going to do in changing my life forever. And I had no idea because I was so focused on doing what the teacher was telling me to do and trying to move my body in ways that I've never moved it before. And so I didn't know that day it was changing me, but I knew that I liked it. So yoga helped me find myself. And in those early college days, when I went back a few more times and really enjoyed myself. So I thought I should have my own yoga mat. And so I went to the local TJ Maxx and for a whopping $12 bought my first yoga mat, which interestingly enough served me for 12 years. I have a new yoga mat now, thanks to my wonderful husband who thought it might be time for me to retire the old one. It was marked up. I never had a yoga mat bag. It was just worn and loved, extra loved, but that yoga mat served me so much. I sweat on that yoga mat and I cried on that yoga mat. And I found myself in two different times of my life on that yoga mat, and it was very precious to me, and I was able to gift it to someone else who I believe that yoga mat is going to allow them to find themselves as well. And so, unfortunately, after college, I went into the corporate world and I let go of my physical practice for a little bit. And when I think about that, I wish that I hadn't, but yoga has taught me that you can't look back. There's no reason to do that. You should only look forward. And so I try not to dwell on the time that I lost, but fast forward a few years and I needed to make a pretty big decision in my life. I was in a really rough time in my personal life, and I went back to what I knew, and that was yoga. I went to a class at the Y for $10 and found myself on that mat again. And through the next few weeks of my life and few months, I was able to make a decision that was going to change my life in a way. And so I went back to yoga, which I feel is just such a blessing. And it's just an overwhelming blessing to think about when you think that something allows you to find yourself and to make decisions based on what is right and true to your own personal being. And yoga also helped me find a community. You know, ever since I got back into yoga, it hasn't stopped. I haven't stopped my journey. And it took a little while to find a studio that worked for me. And then I finally found one, so I don't practice at the Y anymore. But, you know, once I found that studio, I was able to connect with so many people. And it was just wonderful. So I had started my own business, and I was able to go to classes at different times of the day and connect with different types of people. And it was just wonderful. And I fell in love with yoga all over again. And then I was teaching a class on email marketing, and I looked at the roster and I saw that there were 2 people in the class from a yoga studio. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have to find them. So I looked around the room, found them, and walked up to them and basically said, "Hi, I'm Amanda. I love yoga." And if you ask them about this story, they will tell you that they actually heard me mention to the other teacher of the class that we were teaching together and said, "Oh my gosh, there's 2 people here from a yoga studio. I have to find them." Which makes me laugh that they heard that. And this transitioned into, that moment I just knew I wanted to introduce myself to them just because I love yoga and we had something in common. But what it turned into is a friendship between myself and both of them that has truly shaped my business, and I truly, truly call them friends of mine. And I get a little choked up thinking about how much it has meant to me in my life and my business. You know, from that day forward, which has been about a year, a little over a year ago, these two incredible women have helped me, they have encouraged me, and they've learned from me, and most of all, they've told me that they learned from me, which gave me the confidence to blaze a new trail in my business and say, I'm a marketing coach for yoga teachers. When I get to say that sentence, and I truly feel like I am honored to say that sentence, I think about that, how much it lights me up. And I haven't ever experienced that with a career before. And so I truly know that I have found my place, and I attribute that emotion to those two women who I cannot thank enough for helping me shape my business, and they may not even know that they have done this, but they truly have, and it has been a wonderful, wonderful experience. And so yoga has helped me find a community. And through this friendship, I actually am now in a place where I get to give back to yoga like yoga has given to me for so many years. And that is because one of the friendships that I created with them that day she actually leads and is the executive director of a yoga foundation. And it's called Attic Conversations Yoga Foundation. And it is a truly, truly amazing organization that helps people, underprivileged communities that don't have access to yoga. And I think about the common thread in my life when I found myself on a yoga mat twice, 2 different stages of my life, and found myself, it was in a free class in college and at a $10 class at the Y. And yoga was provided to me in times when I couldn't afford a yoga class. And so I was given that opportunity. And the fact that I get to help an organization give that opportunity to other people is just overwhelming to me. And so in honor of giving back to yoga and the season of Thanksgiving, I, as well as sitting on the board of an organization that is amazing and goes into thinking of detention centers and jails and places where women go after experiencing domestic violence, and local schools. They go into these places. Often these are just funded through the community. They're not paid programs through through the other organizations. But they go in and they share yoga with people that might not have the accessibility to yoga otherwise. And so in the season of Thanksgiving, I want to give back to this organization in addition to being a board member. And I'm doing that through a new digital offering that I have. So when I knew I wanted to do something like this, I thought to myself, what can I package up and provide to yoga teachers that will help them learn and benefit from the knowledge that I have of marketing? And so I asked myself, what do yoga teachers often ask me about? And the answer is Instagram. And I often get asked questions of how to utilize Instagram in the best way as a yoga teacher. And my answer is always to be intentional. To set an intention, just like you do when you step on your yoga mat, is to be intentional with your Instagram presence. And so, Intentional Instagram was born. And so this digital offering is an online course that you can go through at your own pace and learn tips and tricks all about Instagram and how to get set up. It takes you from creation of your original profile all the way through to planning post. And it's been a labor of love. I've put a lot into this course because I know that what I'm giving back is to give and to share yoga with people who might not be able to experience yoga on a normal day-to-day basis. And so for the week of November 19th through the 27th of 2018, I am giving back 10% of my profits to Attic Conversations Yoga Foundation. And I'm honored in order to do this. And so if yoga has ever given anything to you, I encourage you to give back to yoga in some way. And if you want to learn about Instagram, this is a great way to do so. If you already know everything about Instagram, find another way to give back to yoga this season. But if you want to learn just a little bit more about being intentional with your Instagram, I encourage you to check out the course. And I am really looking forward to handing over funding to Attic Conversations so they can continue their amazing work. Thank you so much for all that you do as a yoga teacher. Please know that I appreciate you. And I wish I could hug you just like I could hug those yoga teachers that helped me in my time of need and my time of needing yoga. So thank you for all that you do. I appreciate you so very much. Happy Thanksgiving.